yeah, he was one of my motivations.
That's awesome. And can you tell us what was the greatest hurdle, the greatest difficulty in the process of becoming a published author?
Well, actually, the greatest thing was seeing your story come to life. You know, and while I was writing it, while I was writing this one right here, you know, it was I had all these people in my head talking to me, and I had to be. See, one thing about being an author, you have to be a man, you have to be a woman, you have to be a child, you have to relate to everything. So, especially in the female characters, I had to take on your personas, right? And it was intriguing to me. I'm like, well, okay, I'm having fun with this, right? So, once I put it down on paper and I started reading, I'm like, okay, well, this is coming together pretty good. But actually, my proudest moment was seeing what you have in your hand today.
That's what I'm talking about.
Especially in prison, you know, people, you hear all kind of stories. They say if you can spend $20 at the canteen store in prison, you can convince somebody that you're rich, right? So, you know, a lot of people say, okay, when I get out of prison, I'm gonna do this. Well, I was one of them. I said that, right? And I had a friend of mine that was in prison with me that was here today,
right?
And he told me, he said, man, I'm proud of you because I heard a lot of people say what they're gonna do when they get out, but you actually did.
Yeah. Well, let's give him a round of applause for that. Now, I know you said that you didn't want to do this, but I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to ask you to read a passage, or yeah, I tell you what. You want to just read what's, because he was really shy about getting up on stage. Would you mind reading what's on the back of the book for us, sir? Uh-oh, he's got to get his second set out too.
Yeah, I can't see without him.
So they can give him a little more meat.
All right.
Yeah.
This is the Kings of Credit, right? And you guys know I'm author Willie Bruce, right? All right, the Kings of Credit is another branch of the tree of the Rue of the Gumbo, a novel. This is the one I was telling you my niece wrote, right? The story is loosely based on the exploits of Helen's youngest son, Willie Chill Bruce. Recently released from the California penal system, Chill has a family of 6 to support. But when the government starts garnishing his paycheck from the air conditioning company that he works for, he finds it hard to stay on the straight and narrow path. To make matters worse, he is offered a deal of a lifetime, one that will solve all of his financial problems, and it is not long before he comes to regret his decisions in participating in a violent kidnapping of a rich couple. Soon afterwards, he pursues another career that leads him into the world of illegal credit laundering, where he quickly climbs the ladder and becomes one of the kings of credit.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
What he said before
excellent
didn't
book.
interest you, that got my interest right there. So they can find you in the big room?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll be out there. I'm up against the wall right as you walk in.
And your books are for sale today?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
yes,
that's what we're talking about.
And my niece, she has her books there too. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless you. Oh, yes, sir. Get your card. And you have a card?
No, somebody gave me that.
Oh, I know this gentleman.
This is my card right there. I got cards for everybody in here. So
excellent. You make sure
come
everybody
in the big
gets
room,
that.
make sure you get it.
Let's give him another round of applause. I'm coming with you.
Thank you so much, Willie Bruce. How's everybody doing? Doing excellent. Once again, my name is Aquila Lewis, and I'm from Oakland, California. I came out here to co-host with my sister, the Oracle, and we're going to continue to roll the show on. So, this next artist has 2 names that I'm really excited about. Her name is Poetry Dancer. She was born in San Francisco and discovered her love of words at an early age. Her creative talents also include dance, directing, and editing. Miss Henry's on-stage appearances include For Color Girls Who Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough, Women, Healing in Swaziland, Meet Me at Metro 4, and the IBWA stage reading of The Shoe Wizard Brings a Brand New Dance. She is a member of the Watts Village Theater Company and the Selah Dance Company, and can be found performing spoken word and poetry readings at the Griot Cafe, Freedom of Speech, the Poetry Lounge, and any place where poets gather. Miss Henry, which is also her name, received her BA in Theater Arts from Cal State University, Dominguez Hills, and studied acting with Adela Barnes and poetry performances with spoken word, I believe. So once again, please welcome up Miss Poetry Dancer.
Hi.
Hi.
I went to school to study all that so I could write my own stuff, right? Who has ever had a crush on this guy that lives next door? Who has ever, yeah, okay? This is for that person. Well, ladies, okay, I should have been a little bit more specific if you have, okay? It's called, I wrote a poem. I wrote a poem, and I left it on your doorstep, anonymously wrapped in newspaper and tied with rough string, hoping you would read between the lines and see into my soul before throwing it away. Or maybe recycle the thoughts mixed with old coffee grounds and compost to make the flowers grow while I cultivated, hopelessly, the romantic notion that you knew all along it was from me. A poem. Left on your doorstep, anonymously filled with the possibilities of love that were only imaginary creations of my ink. Now held in your open hands, waiting to be unwrapped as I watched you unravel the strings surrounding my words and read each one over and over again. Put them in your pocket next to your heart. And I wondered what you would say or do if you knew it was really me who left the poem on your doorstep, its contents anonymously a part of you. And if you would only ask, I would follow you anywhere. Be your queen in shining armor, ready to defend your honor when you think no one has your back in this upside down world, riding on my horse, lady style, blazing with locks flowing behind me in medieval fashion like Maid Marian, ready to come to your rescue in medieval fashion as you gaze and wonder at my bravery, your wonderful Wonder Woman who knows everything about you, but loves anyway. And after all this revelation, I know I must be dreaming by taking this time to play this game of show and tell, just to tell you, if you would only ask, I would follow you anywhere. Be your best friend who stays in your corner, always having a listening ear and a shoulder to rest on. Your ride or die chick, your honey over the moon and the stars, your forever and a day. Yeah, if you would only ask, I would follow you anywhere. And we did go on a date. We go on a date, so it works. And my poems are short. They won't be. I won't be up here long. Who loves New York? Yeah. Okay, that's the place, right? There's New York and there's every place else. Okay. Good. This was for a good friend of mine, a poet. His name is Robert, and we were hanging out, and I wrote this for him. I feel the vibrations of your ink. Your pen shakes earth, shaking volumes of words off the shelf. I see the pages fall, letters scattering like dandelion seeds, landing everywhere, taking deep roots, tapping into the fertile soil of my creative womb, birthing poetically new cipher. Going in circular fashion to an uncertain end. The users from Langston's porch are pleased. They enjoy the vibe, the pickled okra and impromptu walks, the ride on the A train, Lenox and 125th to Nostrand Avenue, the surprise mango tea and red velvet, Brooklyn's finest, keeping watch on surreptitious activities where everybody is somebody, even the nobodies, even me. Walking, looking, finding peace where we sat on Langston stoop and played like children, running after verbs and adjectives down the avenue, Duck, duck, goose, you're it. No chalk lines, only papers and pens, writing our letters carefully and sending our prayers to the universe. We climbed up Langston steps, playing hopscotch with words, dreaming of what tomorrow will bring, hoping for better. Leaning on the patina rails, looking up into the heavens as the grime from the sidewalk settled on our shoelaces, and we remembered that day on sacred ground. Thank you. This is called E-Train, self-explanatory. This E-Train is full of intellectuals discussing mathematical translations that I don't understand. The computation of irrational and imaginary numbers never quite appealed to me. We're all the right-brained people who think in colors, rhythms, and words they say. There's no place in the world for people like me. We are a threat to society. They call us beatniks, bohemians, rebels, counter-revolutionaries, subversive communists, and just plain strange. So, we create our own reality of what we see. We love life. We appreciate the small things and don't get caught up in what makes everyone else tick. We are artists.
Right. Yes.
Who add beauty and balance to the world, and even though they refuse to admit it, there is room for us all. So move to the middle of the car and let's go on our way to the next stop because they need us.
That's
right.
Now
We're
you
doing a workshop
Oh,
at,
excellent.
where are we doing it? Downtown Long Beach at the Coast